Welcome back to the D3Hoops.com Classic in Las Vegas. I am Dave McHugh, joined by Coach Miller from Hanover. And Coach, hard-fought, maybe slightly ugly win against Clark. That second half certainly wasn't pretty.
Well, you know, we always like wins, but if you're going to describe it, ugly's maybe a good word. I think we turned it over once in the first half and 11 times in the second half. And quite frankly, for our team, to be good, we really have to take care of the ball. When we turn it over, it gets ugly.
I was going to say that it almost seemed like, I don't know what happened, you guys came out pretty good in that second half, and then something changed. Clark seemed to get a little bit momentum, get a little bit more confidence, and kind of took you guys right out of your style.
Well, you know, I think we were up maybe 10. Did we get up 10 at one point? And then, you know, they just kind of slowly were able to work themselves back into it. I don't know that our defense got really bad as much as it was offensively. We just went so dry. And some of that was, you know, I think they pressured us a little bit. We just uncharacteristically were a little loose with the ball. And for us, you know, when we don't get shots, well, for anybody, right? You know, you don't get shots, that's a little hard. But I thought our guys persevered. You know, that can be tough. You know, it's so hard to stay good defensively when you're struggling offensively. You know, that whole concept of being the defense being offense sensitive. And I thought that we played through that fairly well. We were really good on the glass, which was key for us. I was happy with the way we persevered, and certainly coming off of yesterday to get one today was a good thing for us.
Yeah, I was going to say, coming off the loss to Scranton, another hard-fought game that came down to the wire as well. How do you feel coming out 1-1?
Well, you know, we knew that Scranton would be a great test for our team, and we were happy with how we battled. You know, I told our guys I think we played fairly well. We just went through a spell there in the second half where, again, you know, I don't know. Sometimes you play good defense and better offense still scores. And, you know, Scranton's got some guys that got going a little bit. For us, hey, 1-1, you know, obviously when you're close, you'd like to be 2-0, as close as we were yesterday. But, you know, for us, final tune-up before we get into January and February and all conference games, just like I expect about everybody's that way. And, you know, I thought early we might be a team that could position ourselves as a Pool C candidate. That was one reason why we tried to schedule the way that we did.
We got to win over Worcester.
We got to win over Worcester. You know, we've been on the road at Marietta, lost one at home to Center. Obviously, Scranton, 4, I think, ranked teams. But, you know, we had some changes with our team, our lineup. You know, our senior point guard that we thought we were going to have, you know, just some issues came up, and we don't have him now. So we're different. I think we're a different team, and we've kind of had to learn how this group is going to be. I think we're still a little bit of a work in progress. We're probably going to be ugly sometimes, but we got to be okay with that, you know. So the win today was good for us. We found a way to get it done.
Well, let's look at this conference a little bit. As you mentioned, you kind of go into the teeth of that now. The likes of Transylvania, who's a little bit down, but of course Rose-Hulman under a new coach, but has been the top dog for the last couple of years in a conference that is also now in the Great Lakes region. I don't know if that has a ton of influence, so it certainly would if you have Pool C implications. How important is conference play?
Well, you know, I mean, I think that probably everybody in our league is really looking at that NCAA tournament bid is going to come via the conference tournament at the end. You know, I think our league, top to bottom, is, you know, is strong. I don't know on paper that we have a great Pool C candidate. You know, I think we've got some teams that have played some people in the non-conference. But you know, Rose and Trancy will still be really good and hard to beat. You know, Coach Kerrigan at Mount St. Joe does a great job. They're a fun team to watch. You know, he really runs the heck out of the Princeton offense and does a good job there. And then my former assistant, Tommy Heil, is now the head coach at Defiance, and they've got a nice team. They may have the best individual player in our league in Bernard Edwards. He's a real load. They got 2 senior guards that are solid. They got a little size inside. You know, if they would run the table in our league, you know, I think they've got a win over Wheaton. You know, so it would be interesting. It'll be a hard-fought conference season like it normally is in the Heartland.
Yeah, it certainly is. Of course, we mentioned moving to the Great Lakes. You've been on the committee. How much does that change the equation necessarily? Instead of going up against the behemoths necessarily, you have a little bit of a different landscape.
Well, you know, I tell you what you find in the Midwest, you know, is you just have got some strength of schedule numbers that are just off the charts.
Yeah.
And, you know, that is weighted so heavily that with Wash, Chicago, and then, the top half of CCIW,
yeah.
They're putting these numbers up that are sometimes bordering on 0.6.
Yeah.
And so, we could probably have a debate on a number of different levels about that. Now, those teams are really quality teams, too. What I don't know, I've never been on national committee, so I don't know what that's like when the region to region start getting compared on strength of schedule. I would think that the teams in our league, from a strength of schedule standpoint, within the Great Lakes, like a lot of teams, maybe match up a little more favorably along those lines. But now what that means taking the next step when it comes to how those pool seats get handed out across the country, that's why it's fun, and that's maybe why you have your show, right?
Right.
To talk about all that stuff.
Might get you to the table, though, a little soon.
Might get you to the table. That whole thing's tough, and the committee, I think, really does a good job. And you're always trying to find a system that's equitable in some manner, and you're trying to. I know we never use the eye test, which is hard. You're trying to reward the teams that deserve to be there, but obviously that's very difficult to do when you've got geographic differences and not a lot of head-to-head. So I think, like I said, for us with our team, I think we're January and February will determine whether we're a March team or not. Quite frankly, hey, we run the table. Got beat in the conference tournament, maybe with 5 losses. Our strength of schedule will be decent. We'll have a good win, if Worcester would be in, but that's a long way away for us. Well, you guys are better at talking about that stuff than me.
Don't bet on it. Before we let you go, obviously coming to Vegas your second time. I'm sure you guys kind of had an idea what you wanted to do for some fun and other things. What did you guys end up doing here while in town, and what do you maybe still have planned?
Well, I'm not sure what our guys have planned, and I'm not sure if I want to know exactly what they have planned.
What happens here?
We, like you said, we were out here 3 years ago, and we went to our older guys. You schedule so far out. We went to them, it would have been, 2 falls ago, and said, hey, we're going to look to take a trip in this year. Here's some options. What do you guys want to do? And, right away, those guys wanted to come back to Vegas. Now, I think for them, some of that is the idea of Vegas, and that was fun and that sort of thing. As a coach, and just as a program, combination of you guys and sports tours, it's really, I told my assistants this before, this is like a D1 exempt tournament in terms of how it's run. Heck, you guys are over doing sideline reporting stuff, the sports tours guys, golly, anytime you go to practice, you got your own charter. It's got your logo in the window. They sit there and they wait for you at practice. If you go an hour and a half, they'll be there waiting for you. If you go 40 minutes, they're there waiting for you. Heck, I'm on the plane arriving here and I'm getting a text that, hey, I'll meet you at baggage claim. Just those things really show you that it matters to them. And as a coach, particularly at this level, you don't always get that. And so I'm speaking more as a coach than a player right now. I don't know that players always understand that stuff. But as a coach, it's just a really well-run tournament. The facility's great. It's great to come down out of the rooms and go play. So we had a lot of fun. I'm sure our guys will enjoy tonight. I got a pretty mature group. They make pretty good decisions. So we tell them, look, we won't treat them like high schoolers. They just got to make sure they don't make high school-like decisions. And they generally do a pretty good job of that.
That makes sense. Well, we're glad having you back. Congrats on the win against Clark.
Thanks a lot.
Good luck the rest of the season.
It's good to see you, and we'll enjoy watching you online.
Yeah, we'll appreciate that. That's going to wrap it up here from the D3Hoops.com Classic from Las Vegas. Thanks for tuning in. For Coach Miller, Pat Coleman, and myself, we'll see you back here in 2016. Of course, we'll see you 15. We'll see you the rest of the season in 2015 as well.